Yeah, hello guys. In this video, we are going to discuss about how to use entity framework in .NET Core applications. Maybe it is .NET Core web application, maybe it is .NET Core MVC application. So we are going to cover this particular topic in this video. So guys, you should remember one thing. Once again, I am repeating the topic. So many people asked the same question. So what is a service? What is a dependency injection? This is what the question so many people asked here. So you should notice one thing. So whenever there are different modules of applications will be there. Suppose if I want to develop an e-commerce application, so that user management. So user management in the sense. So maybe that's going to deal with login or sign up or forgot password. So such kind of functionalities will be different modules under this group. So what is Angular or the recent technologies available in the market, what they are going to do? So they are going to treat these particular modules as services. These particular modules as services. Several services will group as one unit to form or to create an application. Okay. So the dependency injection is nothing but, so whenever you are creating a service, if that particular service is dependent on any particular code or DLL or anything, so that you need to inject before starting the application. Otherwise, at the runtime you cannot link any particular predefined library or whatever the required necessary things. So that is the reason we have a startup.cs file is there in every .NET Core application. So that is going to be helpful to load the dependencies. This particular process we can call it as dependency injection. I hope it is clear to everyone now. So now let's go into the topic, how to create entity framework core and what will be the different changes we can observe. So first of all, I will try with a console application. In the next applications we can go with a regular web applications or anything. Code will be same in any year. So I just want to target on console application. So I am selecting console application. It is not .NET framework guys, it should be on .NET Core now. So click on next and select this. So I am selecting the version 5 guys. I prefer always the latest version, don't select the previous versions, again you will get a version conflict sometimes. So you can click on create. Yeah guys, now the application was created. Now simply do one thing, first right click on this particular console application, go to add or else go to this manage NuGet packages. So we need to install NuGet packages. And one more thing guys, maybe so in .NET framework, while going with entity framework, we had studied about 3 approaches. DB first approach, so second one code first approach, so third one model first approach. But this particular entity framework core, I mean entity framework in .NET Core applications will support only code first approach. It won't support DB first or model first approach. So it supports only code first approach. Remember this point also. So now let's install NuGet packages. Search for entity framework core. Search for entity framework core. So here you have to install this particular first one, Microsoft.entity framework core. So you can install this one. Click on OK, accept the license. So once after that, so you can install this entity framework core.tools. So this is also required to build the database. So click on OK, accept the license. So after that you can install this SQL server, because we are using SQL server as our database. So you can install this SQL server also, entity framework core.sql server. So after installing all these things, let us start working with this. So guys, let's do one thing. Let's go with web application only. Let's not confuse again. So let's take web application, ASP.NET Core web application. Yeah. So click on OK. So here you can uncheck this configure for HTTPS. Otherwise, every time it will ask you to install the certificate. Yeah. Let's install this NuGet packages again. Sorry for confusion. So you can right click and click on manage NuGet packages. Go to browse and select Entity Framework Core again. So install Entity Framework Core first. So after that, select Entity Framework Core.tools. After that, install this SQL Server, Entity Framework Core.SQL Server. So in .NET Framework, these all dependencies will come inbuilt, but here we should install them manually. That is what about .NET Core. So all dependencies you have to install manually. Yes. So these are installed, guys. So here you have an JSON file called appsettings.json. So normally in our web applications in .NET Framework, so we have web.config file. There we used to write the connection string, right? So here we used to write the connection string in this particular JSON file always. So that is what appsettings.json. Okay. So here anywhere you can write after this comma or somewhere. So this is going to be a particular JSON string. So I am going to write my string from this one. So let us take connection strings. You can see it comes by default. So inside this connection strings, you can write several connection strings. So I am taking one of the connection string name. However, we write add name is equal to db connection. So similarly here you are going to write like this. So here you should write your connection string. So data source equal to, I am writing my connection server name. So server name is this one. Initial catalog. So initial catalog is equal to db first core app 1. So after that, integrated security equal to true. So this is how you are going to write your connection string. Now the question, so how to add this particular connection string to the context file. So first of all, let me create the models and then we can go for context file. So add a class, suppose employee. So here I am going to prepare the properties for the class. So ID, so it is going to be primary key. So if you have any doubt, let's add this annotation key also, so that it will become the primary key column. So component model dot data annotations. So string name. So int age. So like that you can add whatever the properties that you want to create as tables. Now I am going to add one more class for the context file. So employee context. So we know that this context file always need to inherit the predefined class called db context, which comes with entity framework DLL, entity framework project, or else you can call. So you are going to import this namespace using Microsoft.entity framework core. So now here you should do one thing. So you have to prepare the constructor. So here the options will be going to change. So normally in .NET framework, so we are going to pass the connection string, some db connection or something. You are going to pass the connection string here. But in entity framework core, there will be small changes there. So here you should take the constructor type, which is a parameterized constructor. So db context options will be there. So these options you have to pass to the base class. So options, the options whatever you are passing to this context file, that you need to pass to the base class, nothing but. So from the startup file you are going to pass the connection string, that connection string object will be passed to the base class, that is what db context. That is the only change you need to observe. So now you need to prepare the db set classes for that. So db set of employee, so let me take it as employees. So get and set properties, that's it. Now this employee will be created as table of employees in the database side. Okay, so now let's go to this startup.cs file, guys. So here there is a method called configure service or configuration. Yeah, configuration is there. So here we can add this particular SQL Server connection string. So here I can write services dot add db context. So here you should mention what is your context name. So my context name is employee context. So then you are going to write the properties of this particular. So for each element in this, so you are going to use SQL Server x dot use SQL Server. I think for that you have to import a namespace. So this is what using Microsoft Entity Framework Core. So then this particular SQL Server was recognized. Use SQL Server of. So here you are going to write whatever the object name is there, that is what configuration, to access that particular app settings connection string. So we are going to use configuration dot get connection string. There is a method called get connection string. So here you should mention whatever the name of the connection string you had given there. So in my app settings I had given the connection string name as db connection. So let us copy this one and pass it to this method. So that's it, guys. These options will get loaded in the context file. That is what we are passing, db context options, that we are passing it to the base connection string. So this is the additional thing you have to do in startup.cs. I am loading the dependency of SQL Server. I am loading the dependency of SQL Server and passing the options to use the connection string particular db connection. So that's it, guys. Now you can regularly, however you are going to scaffold this particular entity framework, so that you can do it here now. So now let's go to these tools and NuGet package manager and package manager console. So here you first enable -migrations. And one more thing, in entity framework, so every time whenever you are using this entity .NET framework entity applications, every time you have to build them. So here build is optional because system is going to do the build. So enable migrations was done immediately. So now the next one, add -migration space some, I mean hint you can write, initial I am writing. So initial. So build started, you can see that. So let me connect to my database and check. So build succeeded. So this particular migration was generated. Now let's go to this particular database. no, not this one. So let me do this step, update database also, update hyphen database. Yes, done. Now you can refresh here in the databases folder. So you can see DB first core app 1. So under this you can see the table employees. So now you know how to operate it, because we've already done lot many applications. So this is how you can create entity framework core in .NET Core applications. So I hope it is clear. In the next application, let's work on how to create views and all those. Okay, thank you.